So turns out Binance has broken up with me. If you are new to this channel, you may not be aware that this very community dubbed me the Binance Queen. In fact, I was even featured on Binance's social media platforms as part of their My Crypto Life competition, where my story and why I got into trading and what trading has done for my life was shared by Binance. However, earlier this week, Australian traders woke up to a rather alarming email from Binance letting us know that by the end of the week we would no longer be able to trade their futures platform. Now, even though we had heard rumors of this in the past, it came as quite a shock because there was no explanation as to why this was happening in the email. So after doing a little bit of research, I was able to find this article online where we can see it says here that in fact the Australian government has banned them being Binance, from offering their crypto futures and options in their market. So now traders will no longer access such products from Binance. And then it goes on to say, the government even warned all their citizens and residents who have invested in futures options and leverage tokens to close their position within 90 days. Binance announced this on the 20th of September. Now that's true. So we got an email saying that we had until the 24th of September. After this date, we would no longer be able to open any new positions. Any positions that we already had open were able to stay open, and we can add margin to them to avoid liquidation if we need to. However, if we close them, we can't open new ones, and we also can't buy more contracts on existing open positions. Now it says down here that Binance's representative stated that they aim to ensure compliance and acceptance for all their products. So it turns out that it was actually the Australian government that cracked down on Binance, and it wasn't Binance's decision on their own. Now here's my suspicion on that. I think the reason that they've done this is because I don't think that the ATO can figure out how to tax us. And the reason I say that is I want to show you this article that Binance did earlier this year, and it's called Crypto Taxes in Australia, the Complete Guide. And now when you scroll through this, you can see that there is a lot of detailed information in relation to your tax reporting for crypto trading. However, when we get down to this section here, number 8, called Margin Trading and Derivatives, the very first line says, the ATO does not currently provide any clear guidance on what taxes apply to cryptocurrency margin trading, futures, options, or other types of derivatives. So if you ask me, I think they just couldn't figure out how to tax us, so they just cut it. But here's the thing, whoever makes the decisions out there, listen closely. Traders fish. That's what we do every day. We fish. We hunt for opportunities. This will not stop us. All this does is make us hunt for the next opportunity. Which brings me to the purpose of this video. I have been spending some time on a number of other exchanges, and in this video I'm going to do some comparisons to show you the pros and cons and help you make your decision of which exchange is going to become your new home. Now for me, they had to meet certain requirements. One of those requirements being they had to offer spot and leverage trading. In addition to that, they had to offer coin margin trading, because this is what I trade the most. Coin margin trading is when you are trading on leverage, an asset that settles in the same asset. So you'll notice that on futures trading, most trades will settle in either USDT or Bitcoin. The reason that I love coin futures is because it settles in the asset that you're trading. So if you have a particular favorite cryptocurrency, you can actually accumulate more of that cryptocurrency in coin margin trading over time rather than a stable coin like USDT. So we need to have coin margin trading. Also, I'm a cryptocurrency trading educator, and I teach beginners right from scratch how to trade. So I see firsthand what people new to this space go through when they're trying to just set up an account for the first time. So therefore, another part of my criteria is that it had to be user friendly, and also the sign up process had to be seamless. So I'm looking for something where the buttons make sense, the layout is clean, the font is not too small, things like that. Then in addition to that, I also want a good selection of pairs, and I also want reasonable fees. Now my last criteria wasn't an absolute must, but it is definitely a plus if we have it, and that is a downloadable watch list from somewhere so that we can just import that straight into TradingView and we don't have to create our own from scratch. So those are things that make up my requirements for my next trading exchange home. And so before we get into it, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn the bell notification on so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you are returning, welcome back. If you could please also be sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought and which exchange is going to end up being your future home. Now, lastly, for all the exchanges that I'm going to talk about today, there are referral links in the description of this video down below. So make sure you head there because some of them give you either reduced trading fees or bonus rewards if you sign up using a referral link. So the first thing that I want to show you is CoinMarketCap. And I'm actually going to head over here to the exchanges tab and then I'm going to click on derivatives. And I really only want to make sure that I'm looking at the top 10 at most in order to make my decision. So I have cut it down from this list, but every exchange that I'm going to cover in this video does fall above number 6 as far as trading volume, which is really important. And the first exchange that we're going to talk about is FTX. Now, straight off the bat, the first thing I have to say is of all of the exchanges that I'm going to go through today, FTX is by far the sexiest looking exchange. This website is brilliantly done. Now, you can see here that FTX offers futures and it also does offer spot trading. And they do have a number of other things too, like staking and leverage tokens, etc. They also have an app, and if we come up here to the markets tab, you can see on their spot exchange they really do have a very good range of coins to choose from. And on the futures tab they have a lot of perpetual contracts that you can choose from, and then you can also have a look at their futures and they've got a fair amount there as well. As far as the fees, at the lowest level their maker fee is 0.02 and their taker is 0.07. That's on the high side for me. When we compare that to Binance, you can see here their lowest level is 0.02, but the taker is 0.04. Now, I will say, even though that is on the high side, they do have options here that allow you to reduce those fees by holding or staking their FTT token. Now, as far as an easy sign up process, FTX is painful. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been waiting more than 8 weeks now for them to verify my documents. And I have followed up with support. I have not heard back from anyone and my account is sitting there as unverified, which means that I have a very low withdrawal limit, which means I really can't trade on there at all. The other thing too is that FTX only in the last day or two has implemented a new change, which is probably offset from what Binance has done, where if you are creating a new account in Australia, you only have 2x leverage. Now, I don't know if that's permanent or just in the meantime, but because of that, it can't tick the box technically for leverage trading. So let's take a look at our scoreboard for FTX. Now, I'm only going to give it half a point for spot and leverage trading because technically it does have them, but at 2x leverage, can you really count that as leverage trading? It does not have coin margin, and I would not say that it is an easy sign up process, so I cannot give it a tick for either of those. It does have a good selection of coins, and the fee structure, I'm going to give it half a point simply because there are ways that you can reduce those fees holding the FTT token. Now, the watch list download does get a tick because on 𝗟𝗵𝗿𝗃.finance, you can see here that you can download a number of the FTX watch lists. Now, moving on to the next exchange, we're going to take a look at Bybit. Now, Bybit has only recently introduced spot, so it does have it now, but it didn't have it for a long time. And you can see here that it has spot, inverse, perpetual, USDT, and inverse futures, which I'll get to in a minute. It also has multilingual 24/7 support, which is amazing. And further down here, you can see that it does have its own app as well. Now, if I click on the markets tab here, you can see these are the new spot pairs that have been added. So it's not a huge list, but being brand new, I'm sure more will get added over time. If we head over to derivatives, you can see the inverse perpetual. So these are the ones that would be considered coin margined on perpetual contract. And if we head to USDT perpetual, these ones are the ones that will settle in USDT. So there's quite a number of them. Inverse futures is futures contract that settle in the coin that you're trading. And we only have two options there being Bitcoin and Ethereum. As far as the sign up process, it was really quite easy for me to create an account with Bybit. Within about 15 minutes, I would say, I was set up with everything uploaded and ready to deposit into the exchange and able to trade. So it definitely ticks the box there. As far as fees, you can see here that market makers actually receive a rebate for making the market, but the taker fees are quite high at 0.075. So if we compare that to FTX, that tier 1 was at 0.07. So we are higher than that. And for USDT, it's the same as well. Now, as far as ease of use, once you do have your account set up, it was pretty easy to figure out where to go to trade what you wanted to trade. However, the actual exchange itself, I found just the actual order section to be really quite small and hard to see and just not as good as other things that I found. So on the tally board here for Bybit, I have given a tick for spot and leverage trading. Even though it's not a huge amount, it does exist. Coin margin trading has way too many pairs for me to give that a full tick, so I'm only going to give it a half. User friendly and easy to set up, that does get a tick. It is quite easy to use, besides wishing that the font was a little bit bigger. Good selection, I'm not going to give that a tick just because even though I know it's going to grow over time, it's not quite there yet. The fee structure was not great. And the watch list download, you can see here on Sandwich Finance, we do not have that option. So all in all, Bybit gets a 2.5 out of 6. That is not going to be my exchange of choice. So let's move on to the next exchange, which is Kucoin. Now, Kucoin is also a beautiful looking website, and you can see here that they offer spot trading and margin trading, as well as futures trading. And they also have crypto lending and whatnot as well. And you can also buy your crypto directly from their website. And then scrolling down here, they also have their own app as well, which is a positive. Now, if I head over to the markets tab, you can see here that they have, under their spot exchange, they do have a lot of pairs to choose from. And under futures, they have the USDT margined contracts. So these all settle in USDT. There's quite a lot to choose from here as well. And under coin margined, however, this is where it starts to fall short. So we really only have 4 options to trade here on perpetual and really only 1 option to trade futures. As far as the sign up process, Kucoin was basic. I was in within a couple of minutes, and it's very easy to buy crypto or transfer it in from somewhere else. So definitely very, very impressed with the sign up process on Kucoin. And then having a look at the fee schedule, you can see here on futures fees, the lowest level is 0.02 maker, 0.06 taker. So that's probably just passable. Also has a 24-hour Bitcoin withdrawal limit of 200 BTC. And then of course they do have an exchange token, so those fees can get reduced if you want to hold on to their exchange token. Now, there is one thing in Kucoin that I have not seen on any other exchange that it actually caught my attention, and I am pretty excited to try it out. I have not yet tried it, so this is not me making a recommendation, but I just want to point out that it's there, and that is up here. If you come to this trade tab, the last option that says trading bot, you can see here that there are a number of bots that you can choose from, and I imagine that this is just automated trading on your behalf. So this could be a bit of fun, and it could just be a bit of a side thing to your normal regular trading. Again, not actually recommending this because I haven't tried it, but it is an interesting feature that looks worth exploring. And then lastly, on Sandwich Finance, they do have here the downloadable watch list. So taking a look at our tally, we can see that Kucoin gets a tick for spot and leverage trading. It gets half a tick for coin margin trading just because it doesn't have a lot of options. It gets a tick for user friendliness and ease of starting a new account. Half a tick for good selection. And again, the good selection, it does have a good selection on spot and perpetual. However, the coin is not that good. So half a tick there. For the fee structure, we get half a tick. It is definitely better than FTX and Bybit and would fall into the range of not too bad fees. And then lastly gets a tick for the watchlist download. So all in all, Kucoin gets a 4.5 out of 6. Which brings us to the final exchange, which is called OKX. Now, I had heard of this exchange, but didn't actually start trading on it until recently. And I must say, I'm really quite impressed. First of all, this is the website here. You can see they've got a number of things: buy, crypto, trade, finance. They've got tools. and an academy for you to learn. Lots of tutorials here. And they also have their own app. You can buy and sell crypto directly here. You can trade spot, margin, perpetual, futures and options, and they also have earn features as well. Now, if I head over to the markets tab, you can see on the spot exchange there are tons of coins to trade. That list just keeps on going and going, and they further break that down into categories if you wanted to just have a look at a particular thing. You can also change this here if you wanted to pair with something else. And under futures, you can see we've got coin margin futures and USDT futures. Now, under USDT futures, again, there is a lot of options to choose from, with contracts dating up to the 25th of March already. So that's 6 months in advance. The coin margin futures also has a lot of offers as well. And then under perpetual swap, you can also trade perpetual contracts as coin margined, which, have a look here, there is a lot of options under that, as well as USDT margined, again, even more options under that. So plenty to choose from here. I also really like this tab here, trading data, how it gives you all of this data that you don't normally see on exchanges, such as the volatility, the funding rate. Normally you have to sign up to another website to get this sort of information, open interest. So I really like that this is all here for us already. And one other really positive thing that I want to point out about this exchange that I have not seen on many exchanges is in the actual spot trading, you can actually set a take profit and a stop loss on a spot trade. Now, normally that's a really complicated thing to do on a spot exchange. So this is the actual layout. I find it really clean and simple and easy to understand. And then if we have a look at the margin platform, it's really not much different. So it doesn't feel like you need to learn two different things. Another amazing plus about this exchange is you can see up here, you can actually set the leverage depending on what side of the market you're playing. So you could have a 5x leverage for long positions, and you could change that to a 10x leverage for short positions if you wanted to. Also, this means that on the same contract, you can open a short and a long at the same time. So if you're an advanced trader and you know how to hedge trade, there's no settings that you need to change. You can just do that. Now, looking at the trading fees, they class certain coins as class A and class B. The coins that fall under class B have lower fees. So the fee ranges anywhere from, for a maker fee, 0.02 to 0.05, but in class B, that drops down to 0.015 and 0.03. The perpetual swap fees are around about the same as well. And again, they break it down into classes, and then sometimes they have promotions where you might have no fees for trading a certain coin or some other kind of deal. Now, listen to me closely when I tell you this. This sign up process was magical. I was in this exchange within seconds with just an email address. I was able to transfer money in easily without issue, whether that was fiat money or cryptocurrency. I was able to do that instantly. They did have, on what I was transferring in, I was able to transfer on TRC20, so it was cheap to get it in, and it was also easy to transfer out. So of all the exchanges that I have played around with, I found this one to be the easiest to work out, the best fees, a lot of trading options, has coin margined, very easy setup. It's got an app to my phone. It ticks all the boxes. If I had to find one thing that this exchange does not have, then the only thing I can put it down to is this. And this, what I'm about to tell you, may be user error. So if you have used this exchange or you know it really well and you can tell me what I'm doing wrong in this bit that I'm about to tell you, please leave it in the comments and let me know. The only thing that I cannot figure out on this exchange is how to only take partial profit. Other than that, I am super impressed with this exchange, and I feel like that is a really small price to pay. Now, before we go to the final tally board, just a reminder that if you are interested in getting a OKX account and you don't have one already, definitely use a referral link to do that, because you can get up to $60 worth of bonus rewards. Whereas if you sign up direct, I think the reward is only about $10 worth of BTC. So it's definitely worth it to go through a referral referral link. And lastly, the only other downside that I could find was that it did not have downloadable watch lists from 𝗟𝗶𝗿𝗃. However, because I was so in love with this exchange, I have gone ahead and I have created them for you. So if you head over to my website, the link for this particular page is the first link in the comments of this video. You can scroll down here, and if you click on here, you can get all of the OKX watch lists for TradingView that you can simply import. That will download as a text file, and then you just head over to your TradingView, come up to the 3 tabs up here, click on import list, and then find those text files. Now, of course, if you're on the free version of TradingView, you'll only be able to download one, but if you're on a paid version, you should be able to download all of them. And this here is an example of one. They are all sorted for you in alphabetical order and separated by coin. Now, lastly, before I let you go, what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is I'm going to be filming 5-minute tutorials on how to use different parts of this exchange. So if you're someone who likes bite-sized information and just a simple, how do I place a long order? How do I place a short order? How do I edit a stop loss? Things like that. Then make sure again that you are subscribed to this channel and turn that bell notification to all so that you can get notified when those tutorials go live. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that it helped you gain some clarity about where you can trade next. Until next time, happy trading.